Hi, everybody. Welcome to Conversations with Bizzy. I hope you enjoyed today's story. And if you do, please subscribe. Here we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Conversations with Bizzy. Today is episode, isn't this crazy, you guys? I don't remember what episode it is. It is episode, here we go. It is episode 558. You have me by myself. Isn't that crazy? So I thought that today I would be dropping an episode with JF. That was my promise. That was my wish. But I had totally forgotten that he was going away and he had planned a golf outing in Mississippi. So with some of his guy friends, actually with one guy friend and then a bunch of other guys that now he's meeting. And so I'm by myself. So I thought I'm just going to go by myself today. I hope that JF will be here for Wednesdays, but just so you guys know, it's me solo. And I'm wearing a baseball cap because that's what I normally do on Sundays. And that's what I'm doing. So how is everybody? I hope you guys have been enjoying the show. I hope you enjoyed. I had lots of downloads last week, I noticed. Thank you for everybody that's listening. You have no idea how much it means to me. And if you do listen, if you could press subscribe wherever you're listening, give me a little review. I'd love it. And if you'd share it with anybody that you know that might enjoy it, that'd be really great too. I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for you guys that listen to me every time I drop a podcast, or you just share it with your friends, or somebody shared it with you. And I just want to say thank you because it means so much to me. And it's been interesting because I forgot, we didn't really talk about the fact that JF was going out of town and that he was going to this golf outing for 5 days right after we got back from Europe. And at first I was like, oh my gosh, it's fine. It's fine. And then everything came into place like, oh my gosh, I'm by myself. I mean, yes, I have my dogs, but I'm alone. I don't have a husband in the house. I don't have kids in the house. I have an old dog that keeps coming in here and walking in, and here she goes. Okay, good. Just go get comfortable, Penelope. She needs to get comfortable. You know, old dogs. So she's hopefully going to sit down. Sit down, Penelope. Oh, there she goes again, you guys. So if you hear the click on this, I'm sorry, but that's her. Back to what I was saying. So he made this plan. I was kind of busy on Friday. He left Thursday. And on Friday, it kind of hit me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be here by myself for the weekend. I don't have any plans. I'm not going to call a million people. I'm just going to relax. And that is not my go-to. I am a normal go. I normally want to have a ton of people around me. And I've realized now, being into this on Sunday, he comes back tomorrow, the day that I'm dropping this, that I needed this time. I think that, at least for me, when I'm running all the time, I don't have to have feelings, right? I don't have to look at what's bothering me because I just go to the next thing and then the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And being busy is like my shield, right? It was kind of like how alcohol was, right? Being busy all the time, filling your days every minute. You look at your calendar, and I know when you have young kids, especially during the school year, life is very scheduled, right? It's very regimented. You get up, you get your kids ready, you go to school, and the whole day's gone. And then when you get to the ripe old age of 56 that I am, and your kids are all raised and they're gone, and your life gets quiet, all of a sudden, very quiet. And it's so funny because I was talking to a dear friend of mine this morning, actually, and she was away for the weekend at a wedding. And her kids, her and her husband, it's got babies, sent their kids to their friends' houses. And so it was just the two of them when they woke up today. And I said, how was that? And she said, it's so quiet. It's so quiet. And her husband was like, when are the kids getting home? And during those times, I can think back to those times and I'd be like, oh my gosh, I have this break. I remember in the summer, especially because I'd send my kids to summer camp because let's face it, I think an idle minds are devil's workshop, especially in this world that we live in. And so I wanted them to be busy and I wanted them to go to camp so that they were doing things every day. There were no cell phones at their camps. There was no social media at their camps. This is again a long time ago. I guess at this point, Ken almost went 19 years ago to camp. And so that's what they did in the summers. They were busy. They were very busy. I was like, oh my gosh, go. And they were playing with their, they went to single sex camps and that's what they did. But I remember when they left, it would be like, oh my gosh, it's quiet. And then I couldn't wait for them to come home. Well, here I am now and there's no waiting for them to come home. They're not coming home for better or for worse. They're not coming home. And that's amazing. But again, there's not the busyness that there was. So I have been doing things that I normally wouldn't do, right? I'm taking this time to be quiet and I made homemade granola. And I love granola but I don't like all the stuff that normally people put in it. I just like nuts and some oats. And so I just made homemade granola and it's delicious, by the way. And I did that. And then I tried to make Parmesan crisps to put in my salad. And the paper caught on fire. Thank God there was no real fire, but like I put it on parchment paper and it came out and it was like totally on fire and I had to throw it in the sink. But I feel like we stay so busy because we live in a society that's all about being busy. When I was in Europe, everybody talked about how Americans, it was like in jest, people were saying this, but people in Spain and in Italy were like, Americans, you guys like live to work, where we over here work to live. And it really hit me this weekend that taking this time to just be, I read, even though I didn't like the book, I finally finished it. I read a book, then I finished this book um, that is by Sister Miriam. And it is such I'm going to actually look up the title for you guys because I have an idea for this. And so I finally finished this book by Sister Miriam. I was in my pool. I went swimming every day and I went swimming. I went to the beach. I went swimming in the ocean. I went swimming in my pool. I just chilled out. And Sister Miriam's book is called Loved as I Am. And I finally finished it. I will tell you that takes me sometimes a little bit longer to process things. I've realized that about myself in my old age, that I need more time than I normally have to process things. So I was processing this book and it's amazing. And I'm actually considering how many of you out there listening would want to do a book club on Sister Miriam's book, Loved as I Am. Everybody will get the book and we're going to go over it and talk about it. It's deep. It's really deep. It's very short. It's not even 100 pages. And it's amazing. And I think that it would be an amazing thing to do with a bunch of women. So obviously I'll do it on Zoom. And so everybody can come from anywhere around the country. But let me know if you'd be interested in coming and reading this book with me, because I think it has made me think about so many different things that I would love to talk about with other women and say, how did you relate to this? And how did you relate to this? And I think it would be really beneficial for a lot of us. There's some scripture in there and some stories, and it's just amazing. So I took the time to read that and really reflect on it. I got to catch up with some friends on the phone. That was really fun. And I think that taking the time to go on a vacation is amazing, but then to take time out of your life and spend it by yourself, if you have the opportunity. I mean, again, I didn't know this opportunity was going to be falling in my lap. I didn't know that I was going to get a staycation by myself because I didn't even think about it, but I got it. And I really believe that God had a plan in setting that up for me. He was like, all right, now Elizabeth needs to just get quiet and just reflect. And when I get quiet and I reflect, I get to see the glory of God in my life all the time. I will tell you that I did go in my head to a dark place 2 days ago. And it was really, I don't know why I went there. I don't know if you call it darkness, if you call it, I don't know, your ego, whatever it was for me. But I went to this place that I was just like, oh my gosh, you know, my kids are grown. It's over. There is no busyness going to be in my house. I don't know. Maybe when I have grandchildren and they come and visit me, but that busyness of small children is over. And how that really felt, like I couldn't run away from those feelings. They were like, they came in and they rushed in. And the first thoughts were so dark, like, oh my gosh, I just want to get sucked up by the earth and not have these feelings of sadness and wishing things were different and da 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 da, da, like all those dark things that we go to as human beings. And I went there and I talked about it with my husband. And, you know, it made me think back to years ago, almost 19 years ago when I got sober, which it'll be 19 years in, a month and whatever time. And I think back to those times when I was first sober and I would go through one of these dark things about something in my life that I couldn't control, because it's always something in our lives that we can't control. Right. So I was going through something years ago, and I remember going over it and over it and over it and over it ad nauseum, like to the point that it was like, I think I got sick of myself talking about it. And I realized in time, God took care of it. Like the problem was no longer there. I asked God to take it away. And I prayed for the situation that was going on years ago. I remember, and I remember my sponsor, fellow traveler, said to me, you need to pray for this situation. I'd be like, I don't want to pray for it. I don't want to pray for it. And she'd say, you have to pray for it. And I said, oh my gosh, okay, I'll pray for it. And I did. And I remember praying for it. And I remember going, God, please take this away. Please take this away. Please take this away. And then go, then I'd go back up the toilet, I'd climb out of the toilet and then go back in again and go down with that same problem over and over and over again. And finally there was resolution, which reminded me that, you know what? I went through this issue and it only took maybe 4 hours out of my life. This dark toilet bowl thing that I like to call it, that I went down, and the feelings that were overwhelming. And then realizing God's got me. God's got all of us. I have to trust. Everything's going to work out the way it's supposed to. But my brain doesn't say that. My brain says, oh no, it doesn't look like this. We got to go cry in our soup. And I talked about it. I talked about my feelings with my husband. I feel so grateful to be able to do that because he's walking this walk with me. He's with me. He's my partner. I share with him everything. And I don't share, men like to fix things. It's just reality, right? They see a problem, they want to fix it. They don't want to say, all right, I hear you. Okay, I just heard you. That's all I need. That's all I needed him to do, was hear me. I didn't need him to fix me or give me a solution or tell me what we were going to do to fix it. He was like, well, when are you going to go to church? And I'm like, Sunday. And so it was just nice, because I think that if we keep things just rolling over in our head over and over again, and there is no solution, and we can't give it to somebody else, and we can't say, all right, this is what's going on in my head. Is this good or bad? I mean, obviously my husband's in a 12-step program for longer than I have been. I mean, he'll have 26 or 27 years in October. So, he has a program, I have a program, and to be able to come together and just talk about things and just hear each other. It's not for a solution. Again, I'm not looking for him to fix anything. I'm just looking for him to listen. And if he listens, then I'm free. because he's heard what I'm saying, and he can say, yeah, that makes sense. Or he can say, yeah, but we're in this together, which is what he said. And that's all I needed to hear. I didn't need to hear, oh, we need to do this or we need to do that or no, I just needed to have him hear, I hear you, but we got this together. And that's all I needed to hear. I didn't need to hear that everything was going to be fixed because it's the past. You can't go back and change anything in the past. As many of us, people hold on to things that others say, that others have done in your life, right? Somebody said something to you and you carry it around and around and you mull it over. And can you believe they said that? Can you believe they said that? And you sit there and you have reasons to not like that person, not to forgive them, not to want to break bread with them. There's so many reasons, but you carry these things around. And what does it do for you? Builds hatred, builds resentments. Where's God in that? Where's the light in anything in that? There is no light. It's judgment. It's judgment. Going back to the book that Sister Miriam wrote, what it was, you guys, this is jet lag. Loved as I Am, Sister Miriam's book. She's always on Hallow. But Sister Miriam talked about a story in the gospel. And I'm not going to say which book it is. I want to say John, but a woman who had been having an affair, right? So the Israelites bring down this woman and they want Jesus to condemn her and tell her she's a horrible person because she had an affair on her husband. And Jesus looked out to the people and said, is anybody here around here that's judging this woman? Are any of you perfect? Are you able to cast judgment on another? Do you not commit sins? And that really hit me like a ton of bricks. It's like we all sit here and want to judge one another. And the judgment doesn't bring us grace or joy. It compares us. One's good, one's bad. We all do this thing. Like we have a pendulum that we're constantly like an attorney, like they've got scales. And we say, they're good, I'm bad. I'm better, they're worse. I'm good, they're bad. Da, 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 da. We remember these stories. And do we ever take the time to go, wow, I'm a human too. I've said things that I wish I didn't say. I've done things that I wish I could take back. But guess what? We can't. There's no time machine. We can't go back and go, I wish I hadn't said that. I wish I hadn't done that. Because we did it. It's been done. It's been said. So what are you going to do now? You're going to carry it around? Condemn this person like they asked Jesus to do to that woman? You're going to condemn them? Carry it around? Not like that person because they said this or they did that? Or are you going to say, you know what? They were having a bad day. Or maybe they were in jest. Or why am I taking this so personally? What is it that the person said to you that was actually maybe true that you didn't want to hear? See, that's the thing. That's what humility is like being able to look at ourselves and say, okay, yeah, I screwed up. And let me tell you personally, I've screwed up so many times. I've said so many things that I wish I could take back. But the reality is I try to do my best each day. And I try to be funny when people don't think it's funny. And I just try to be me. And I try to be the best I can be. And sometimes I fall short. Because the thing is, I'm not God. I'm just a layman person trying to do the best I can do each and every day. And if that's what I focus on while I'm sitting at home, being quiet, reconnecting with God, I've been journaling. It's so big. I've journaled my whole trip when I was gone. And then I got back and because of whatever things going on in life, I was really tired. I'm finally feeling a little bit better now, but jet lag is so real. And my friend told me that every day you're gone is a day that you have jet lag. So it's like I'm going to be jet lag for like over 2 weeks. Okay, that's going to be horrible. But anyway, my brain isn't working on full capacity. But anyway, I was journaling while I was gone. And then when he left and all these feelings came, I just started to write. I just wrote and I write, and it just gives it to God. This writing that we do in our journals, at least for me, when we get pen to paper, it puts it out on paper. You can go back and you can read it and say, does this make sense? Does it not make sense? But it's such a great tool. It's like the way I talk to God. I'm like, here you go. I'm just writing this down. What has happened today? What's still bothering me? And if I write it down, there's a better chance I'm not going to be worrying about it first thing the next morning. You know, it is spending time by yourself is hard. It's hard. It takes getting used to. It's getting used to the thoughts. It's getting used to the feelings. It's getting used to the emotions. It's getting used to just like being okay. Like if you're going to keep your pajamas on all day, being okay if you're going to have popcorn for dinner, being okay if you're going to binge watch The Housewives or whatever you're going to binge watch, being okay with whatever you're doing. Because sometimes we just need a timeout, a staycation. And it is in the beginning, it's totally, especially in the beginning of sobriety, I think being alone with our thoughts is really hard. Luckily, I've learned tools along the way, which is what I share with my clients. The tools that I've learned that have helped me manage so that I'm right here in the middle of the bed. I'm not too far over this way and I'm not too far over this way. It's getting in this peaceful moment. It's getting in the grace of God in reality. Like reading Sister Miriam's book was like perfect. I was by myself. I could read, I could make notes about it, which I did. The idea came for this book club. It's like all of it happens because I'm by myself. Now, if I were busy, I wouldn't have been able, if I were like, oh my gosh, I've got to barbecue this, I've got to go to the store, I've got to make a salad, I got to, what do I have to do next? Is there laundry in the laundry? And because I'm by myself, I can write, I can dream, ideas come to me. Like I would love nothing more than to talk with a bunch of women about what this book means to them, what each chapter, what some lines mean to them in the book. Because for me, it gave me hope, right? As I said, we can't go backwards. And regretting our past is such a waste of time. It's like, wow, what a waste of time. Like God has us living right here. How many people didn't wake up today? Like every day is the gift. Every day there's beautiful things that are around us every day. I mean, we were sitting in the backyard. Actually, my neighbors came over with their little boy and came swimming in our pool. And all of a sudden, this bird came and it had the largest wingspan and big black wings. And then its body was white. And I was like, what is that? I took a picture of it and I could upload the picture in ChatGPT and it told me it was I think it was a swallowfish or something. It was unbelievable. If I had been busy, I wouldn't have noticed that bird. If we're so busy focused on something somebody said a million years ago, or we're so scared of something's going to happen in the future, we miss all the beauty, all the magic. Because we're so focused on something that we have no control over, none whatsoever. How do you get in the middle of the bed? How do you do it? What tools are you using right now at your disposal that are helping you feel zen or helping you feel peaceful or helping you go, all right, I just had a feeling and I don't want to react to it? How are you dealing with that let me know. Please email me. And, oh, I have to say, nobody reached out that wanted the St. Francis prayer. That's from St. Francis of Assisi. I was going to mail it to you. So if you missed me last week, I'm bringing it up again. And I'll bring it up again until somebody reaches out and says they want it. But I have a St. Francis of Assisi actual prayer on a beautiful piece of scroll. And I brought it from Assisi in Italy. And if somebody's out there that wants this, reach out to me. I'm going to mail it to you. It's free. It's from me. It's a gift. I have one that I'm giving away. So the first person who reaches out to me at elizabeth@elizabethchance.com gets this prayer. So let me know if it's you. Let me know if it's you. And last but not least, don't forget that sometimes just turning everything off, you might not even have an empty house. Maybe you have a husband or a partner, kids, and you're like, I'm not getting a break this summer. Take a break. Go sit on your front porch in your nightgown and maybe a robe and drink your coffee, turn off your phone, and give yourself 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes. And maybe before you go to bed, get out a piece of paper and write down whatever's bothering you right now and ask God to take it away. I promise it works. Try that. I want to say thank you again for taking time out of your busy day to be with me. I really appreciate it. If you or someone you know needs help, I am coaching again. And I'd love to hear from you and I'd love to help you. I am not like a therapist, so you won't be working with me forever. We will just be working till we can figure out what your tools are that work for your life, for you and what you're going through. So if today's message resonated with you, please share it with your friends. And don't forget to slow down, take a deep breath, and enjoy today, because all we have is today. I'll be back on Wednesday. And I pray I have my husband with me. I hope I do. We'll see. He says yes. Let's just see if I can get him to come down and say yes and get him here, and because he's been running like a chicken with his head cut off. But I appreciate you guys listening. Thank you again. And please subscribe. And if you like it, give me a little review. I'd love it too. Have a fabulous Monday. Sending you guys all big hugs and kisses. And thanks for listening. And as I always say, I stopped saying this, but I'm going to say, don't forget to get busy living Zoba. Bye. Thanks for listening to Conversations with Bizzy. I hope you enjoyed today's show. If you did, if you could subscribe, that would mean the world to me. And follow me on all social media. And you can also get my newsletter every Friday morning into your inbox. Just go to elizabethchance.com and subscribe. Take care.